Book 101 is about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. She's the author of the book, The Seven Key Principles to Tap into a Wealth Inside You. No other than Dr. Cali Estes.
Hi, Daniel. Thanks for having me.
Welcome to Book 101, Miss Callie. And can you please introduce more about yourself?
Sure. So, I'm Dr. Cali Estes. I'm a psychologist and a performance coach. And I have a couple different things. I've written a few books, but my specialty is working with people to become the best version of themselves. So, how you get to the next level, how you overcome a bad habit like a drug addiction or shopping addiction or sex addiction, and how you get your nutrition and your fitness under control, all of those good things to make yourself a better individual.
Dr. Cali Estes, thank you so much for sharing your talents to the world. So, what is the main premise of the seven key principles to tap into the wealth inside you?
So everybody has hidden talents. They have a thing they want to do or a place they want to go, but sometimes they feel stuck. And they say, I want to write a book, or I want to do a blog, or I want to do a podcast, or I want to get a better job, or I want to get a better relationship, but they feel stuck. So when they come to me, I say, how do we get unstuck? What are different ways to do that? So the seven keys are seven different things you can do to get unstuck, to get yourself in the right frame of mind to get where you want to go.
Very well said, Miss Kelly. Very well said. So, how does the book define wealth beyond the financial success?
So, wealth can be anything. Wealth can be how you feel, because health is wealth, right? How you
Yes.
feel, how you look. It can be how much money's in your bank account. It could be how much fun you have. It can be anything. When it comes to wealth, it's the things that make you happy, right? For some
Yes.
people, it's a lot of money, but they're still miserable, right? They have all this money in the bank account, they have all these cars, they travel around the world, and yet they say, I'm unfulfilled. I don't feel like I'm doing my life's purpose. So, wealth is what makes you happy. What is your life's purpose? How to figure it out and how to get there.
Truly, truly inspiring. So, what are the seven key principles outlined in the book?
So, one is eat your broccoli. That is the very first key, which is how to feel good from the inside out. So, I tell people if you eat donuts and muffins and chips and processed food, you're going to feel like crap, right? You
Yes.
can't be successful and do successful things if you don't feel good. If you don't want to get out of bed in the morning and go to work and do something with your life because you don't feel good, that starts with the very first key, which is eat your broccoli, which is take care of your health. Eat nutritional foods, exercise, get some sunshine, go for a walk, get in the right mindset to get moving in the right direction. So that's just the basics of things you need to do to get where you want to go.
Yes, people eat broccoli a lot. So, how does the book help readers unpause their lives?
So, what it does is it takes you through a course of 7 steps that will help you organize and streamline where you want to go. So, it helps you figure out your goals in life, who you are, and where you want to go, and then how to make it happen, how to put this all into action to become successful. Because I started two companies, one 7 figures and one 8 figures, with $300 to my name, which is like nothing, hardly anything. And people say to me, how did you do it? I didn't have resources. I didn't have family wealth. I didn't have, fancy numbers of people that I knew. I just did it. And they said, how'd you do it? Well, mindset. I figured out what I wanted, how I wanted to get there, and then I did it. And then it worked. And then I duplicated it again. So this book is sort of the blueprint of what I use to do that.
Yes, consistency too, people, and mindset. What role does mindset, as you're talking about, play in achieving success according to you?
Mindset is everything. If you wake up in the morning and you say, I'm going to have a bad day, guess what's going to happen? You're going to have a bad day. Your belt loop is going to get caught on the doorknob. You're going to lock your keys in your car. You're going to be late. You're going to spill your coffee. And then you're going to say, see, I'm having a bad day, right? That's called a
Yes.
self fulfilling prophecy. But if you wake up and you say, I'm going to have a good day, and you spill your coffee and you go, no problem, I'll get more coffee, not a big deal, and you keep going, all the good things start to happen because you start to notice the good things. And then you feel good and you say, wow, I'm having a good day. I'm going to do this. And you start doing little things and they're little wins, right? You do one thing really well and you're like, wow, that worked. Okay, great. Now I'm going to do this. And then you build upon it. And as you do that, your mindset shifts from, I can't do it, to, well, maybe I can do it, to, oh my God, I just did it, to, wow, I'm going to do it again. And look, now I'm doing it. So it's like learning how to ride a bicycle. You didn't just get on and go. You got on, you fell, you got back up, you got your feet caught in the pedals, you fell over the handlebars, you did all those things, and then eventually you learned how to ride the bicycle. And now when you get on, you don't think, I don't know how to ride. You get on and go, that's where I'm going. So that's mindset.
Beautifully articulated, Miss Callie. Thank you so much for your knowledge. So let's talk about application of principles. How can readers apply these principles into their daily lives?
So start with one thing you want to achieve, one small goal. So, for example, I have people tell me all the time, I want to lose weight or I want to quit eating sugar, right? And they
Yes.
go on a diet and they fail because they all of a sudden make this big lifestyle change. So, I say pick one thing. So, let's say you said to me, I want to quit sugar. I would say take all the sugar out of your drinks. So coffee with no sugar, unsweet tea, no alcohol. You're gonna have I have Pellegrino or Perrier,
Yes.
fuzzy water.
Yes.
So you take the sugar out. That's all you do. And then when you master it, now you take the sugar out of something else. So maybe you stop eating bread. Then you take the sugar out of pasta sauce. What else is sugar in? Yogurt. And you keep adding. And next thing you know, you're sugar free. And you went, wow, that was easy. So start small, baby steps, and then keep adding like a ladder, and you will have achieved that goal.
Yes. Phenomenal success. So, what are some common obstacles that prevent people from realizing their potential?
Well, one is stress. So they say, I'm too busy. I have to get up. I have to get the kids off to school. I have to go to work. I have to cook dinner. I have to walk the dog. I have to clean the house. I don't have time to be successful, right? So that's one. Another one is limiting belief. They don't think they can do it, they don't feel worthy of doing it. So they just say, well, it won't be any good. If I wrote a book, no one would read the book. And I say it doesn't matter if one person reads the book, that's all you need. One person. And they share it with an audience, then two people read it, then three
Yes.
people read it. And next thing you know, a bunch of people have read it. But it's just doing it and getting it out there. It's that limiting belief that they're not good enough to actually do it.
Certainly. So, how does the book address fear and self doubt in their journey to success?
So fear is normal, but what is fear? So we take a look at fear, right? I say to people all the time, if you do it and you fail, right?
Mm,
But
yes.
if you don't do it, you've already failed. So either way, you have a 50-50 chance of success if you do it. You have a 0% sense of success if you don't do it. So it makes more sense to do it than it does not to do it. And that's
Yes.
fear. If you can get past the idea that you're going to fail because you've already failed if you don't do it, you might as well at least try. Because the worst thing that can happen is you're going to fail and you've already failed.
Yes.
Mhm.
True. People don't be afraid to fail because failure make you let's say perfect, not totally perfect, but you will learn from it. from your failure. So, how does the book differentiate between external wealth and inner wealth?
So external wealth is anything, this microphone, right? It costs money. That's external. Internal is how I feel. External things come and go. You could have nice cars and a nice house and lose it all tomorrow. You
Yes,
have to have internal wealth, which means happiness inside, whether you have a nice car or a bicycle. It doesn't matter. Internal is how you feel about yourself and what you can do. I've lost, I've lost one company. I've been homeless twice. I've had less than 300 bucks in my bank account, and you have an option. You're sitting there and you're like, I can't pay the rent. What do I do? I make it happen. That's internal wealth. I'm going to make it happen. I'm not worried about the car that got repossessed or the fact that I don't have the house anymore. I'm going to get those things back. But to do that, I have to have internal wealth. I have to have belief in myself. I can do it because no one else is going to do it for me.
certainly. So, Ms. Kali, let's talk about personal growth and transformation. How does the book encourage readers to shift their perspective on success?
So when you shift your mindset, it's 3 steps, and the book will teach you this. And this is Law of Attraction 101. So, intent of what you want, gratitude that you already have it, and then an action step to get it. So let's say you want a new bicycle, right? Intent is I want this bicycle. This is what it looks like. You have a picture off the internet. You might put it on your wall like a vision board. That's the intent, right? Then you have gratitude. You say, well, I'm so thankful for that bicycle. And people laugh and they say, but you don't have the bicycle yet. But that's okay. You pretend as if you have it. You say, I'm so thankful it's in my backyard. I'm so thankful I get to ride it. I'm so happy I get to have it. Then you
Yes,
do something towards getting it. Maybe it's saving up some extra money. Maybe it's going to the store to see if you can get a discount. You're doing something to get it. And then you get it and you say, I'm thankful for it. That is how it works. And then you're granted with more things.
yes. Thank you for my 1 million followers. Like that. So, how do self awareness play a role in tapping in one's potential?
Self awareness is where you start. If you're not aware of self, you cannot be aware of everything else around you. You're distracted. So that's all noise. You have to know who you are, you have to know where you're comfortable, and you have to know where you want to go. If you know that, you can achieve everything. People get stuck when they say, well, I don't know who I am, or I don't know what I want. And we see this with even a restaurant. If you listen to couples, when it's time to eat, the man will say, where do you want to eat? And she'll say, well, I don't know. What do you want? He'll say, I don't know. What do you want? And I'm like, oh, pick a place. It's just food. Pick a place. Like they can't even make a basic decision. So I tell people, law of three. Come up with 3 things, 3 places you want to eat. So I would say, Daniel, I have these 3 places I want to eat. Pick one. And then you pick one. We made a decision. That's how it starts. It's just simple little decisions of knowing where you want to go and then getting in the driver's seat to get there. If you can do that, you can achieve anything you want.
Certainly. So, Miss Kali, what advice does the book give for overcoming procrastination?
Oh, so my mother is the queen of procrastination. I will say, let's do this. And she'll go, we'll do that someday. Someday we'll do that. And I say, someday is not a day of the week. So if you set a goal, set a timeline on the goal. If you want something, give yourself a timeline. I'm going to get it this week, this month, next year, whatever the goal is, and put that goal down in your calendar, put it on your vision board, and stick to that goal and look at it every day and say, okay, I'm one day closer to my goal. And then every day do something towards that goal, even if it's tiny. And you will start getting closer and closer and closer to that goal.
Yes, certainly. So, Miss Kali, what will be your short term and long term goals in writing?
So I'm working on another book. I have 6 books out. I'm working on another one. It's called Airport Antics, and it's kind of a funny little one of my time spent in an airport because I travel so much about what I see and what people do.
Hmm.
And other than that, I just came out with a 5 day executive reset for executives to combat burnout and to increase performance enhancement. So those are the two things I'm working on.
Good luck to your goal, Miss Callie, and we are looking for more and more empowering books like this. So let's talk about influences and philosophies. What philosophical or psychological principles does the book drawn from?
Everything from Wayne Dyer was an inspiration for me. So if you like Wayne Dyer's book or Joe Dispenza's stuff, that's where I've drawn my inspiration. And I'm well versed in Jose Silva's method of law of attraction. I've trained all the way to master level. So that's where this comes from. It comes from the idea that you can do anything with your life you want. Anything. If you know
Yes.
what you want and put the intention behind the action, it can make it happen. So that's where a lot of this is from.
Great. So, are there any historical or modern examples used to illustrate success?
Ooh, historical. Um, I don't know about historical. Modern, I use it with a lot of my clients. So it's kind of cool
Yes.
because I work with celebrities and executives and I'll teach it to them. And then I'll watch, like, they'll say, I really, really want this part in this movie, but I'm not a fit for the part, or I don't think I'm going to get it. And then they get it, or they get a role that's better than that. And I see them in the movie and I'm like, that's awesome. You did it.
Yes.
So more modern that way. But historical, I'm not sure.
So, how does the book compare to other self improvement books on wealth and success?
This is a little bit more straightforward. So it's seven very specific keys that you can do in order. So it's more of a blueprint and it's less of a lifestyle story. So it's not my personal story, it's how I teach my clients to make things happen. So it's the blueprint that I give them when I'm working with them, and they pay a lot of money for me to have them one on one to work with them. But this is the exact blueprint I use with them.
Interesting indeed. So, what is your background and how does it influence your perspective on wealth?
So I was born and raised in a very poor family where we didn't have much money. And my mother's answer to everything was, well, there's no money for that. So anytime I said I want to do something, I want to travel to see a play, we didn't have money. I want to buy this dress, there's no money for that. I want to go to France to learn French, there's no money for that. It was always, we're poor, you can't do that because we're poor. So I would sit there and I would say, well, is that the only reason I can't do these things? And she would say, yeah, if we had money, you could go to France. If we had money, you could buy that dress, but we don't have money. So I thought, how do I get money? How do I make money work for me? And I was 14. And my whole life has been around, it's not about the money, it's about money as currency to get where I need to go. That's all it is. So money allows freedom, money allows things, money allows travel, money allows me to help other people. So it's not about wealth or money, it's about what that money does for everybody. And then you have to, of course, spread it around. So that's the whole philosophy.
Certainly, again, Miss Callie, very well said. Very well said. So, how does the book address the importance of resilience and adaptability?
Well, adaptability is key to any goal because you're always going to have a setback somewhere, right? I was almost late to this podcast because of horrible traffic. What did I do? I had to hurry, I had to rush, I didn't get changed to do my makeup and my hair, but it's okay because I'm still here. I'm still providing the information and you're still graciously hosting me. So resilience and adaptability are key to anything in life. You're always going to have a problem with something. It's learning how to navigate it and say, okay, how important is that thing that I needed? That extra coffee or that extra 5 minutes or whatever it is. Can I deal with it? Yes, I can deal with it. Am I hungry right now? Sure. Did the dogs get fed? No. Was I late? Almost. Does that all matter? No, because I can do those things 30 minutes from now. That's
Yes.
adaptability. Resilience is knowing there are going to be setbacks that I'm going to weather through them because if I get through them, I'll be okay on the other side. That's resilience.
Certainly. So, what are some key habits that you suggest for achieving long term success?
Continue doing it the way you've been doing it or change it to make it better, but don't stop. That's the thing. So when I wrote my first book, it wasn't super successful. If I would have stopped and went, oh, no one likes me, I wouldn't have written the second book. But I did the second book, which was way more important than the first book. And that got people to buy the first book. I was like, oh, okay. So you have to keep going. If you have a goal, don't stop because it didn't go the way you wanted it to. Keep going with that goal, and eventually you'll see the results you're looking for.
Yes, people, consistency. But before we wrap up our discussion, Miss Kelly, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, Food 101, in its fifth season, people, fifth season with Chef Alessandro, one of the specialty chef in one of the five-star hotel in downtown Toronto. Please do listen to our latest episode. We are reading our letters, senders all over the world. So please do listen, Food 101, wherever you listen your podcast. So, what is the biggest takeaway from the seven key principles to tap into the wealth inside you?
One of the principles is called just jump. And that just means just do it. Like Nike said, just do it. Even if you fail, do it. Because if you
Yes,
don't do it, you will go through your whole life regretting you didn't try. It's better to have tried and failed than not tried at all.
true. Dr. Cali Estes. Sorry. Dr. Cali Estes, thank you so much for empowering the world. And we are hoping for more and more empowering books like this. So, can you please invite our listeners to support all your books? Miss Kelly, can you please invite our
Yes.
listeners?
So I'm on Amazon. I have I Married a Junkie 1 and 2, and I have the 7 keys to tap into the wealth inside you. And you can
Yes.
also find me at soberondemand.com.
Yes, people, let's support Dr. Kali Estes because if you support her, more and more and more empowering books like this to come. So, Dr. Kali Estes, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
More to come, people. See you soon. So, Miss Kali, you are